Good morning, and thanks for joining us on another walk on a beautiful April day, actually Easter Sunday, and Daft Hat Day. Actually got a bit sunburnt yesterday, so it's the first outing for the Daft Hats of the year, and we're just setting off on a walk, starting from the Camping and Caravan Club site at just below Youlgreave on Hopping Lane, and we're just doing a circuit. I think it's around about 8 or 9 miles, going through some of it we've done before, but parts of it are new to us. So we're going through the little hamlet of Alport, climbing up to I think it's, what did I say, it's called Stanton Moor. I think it is a little village called Stanton Moor, over Stanton Moor itself, where I think there's a stone circle, if we find that, called 9 Ladies, and a few other bits of ancient sort of burial mounds and all that sort of thing. So we'll see what we find, and then back round through the village of Birchover, and then back on down just below Youlgreave and back to the site. So yeah, as I say, some of it we've not done before, so it should be a nice walk, and why not stick with us and see what we find along the way. I know it's very gentle walking, but hard to beat the White Peak on a day like today. And you like this sort of walking, don't you? Yeah. So we're just emerging little hamlet of Alport, and then turn right across the bridge, immediately right down a little lane, and then about probably 100 yards down there you'll see a footpath going back across the river again, and then you just climb up, and we just hit that little road again, and we basically look to your left and you should see a footpath out into the fields again. So next section, sorry about the traffic noise, is along a little minor road. As you drop down out of the fields, cross the stile, and you'll see a sign for Stanton in Peak. I think I called it Stanton Moor before, Stanton in Peak. And we just head up that little minor road, and then we can have an explore of the village. The rather imposing wall behind me surrounds Stanton Estate, and that I've just showed you is the North Lodge. So don't know what we'll get to see of the rest of it, but bring you back if there's anything of interest. climb up to the village, but in the lovely grounds of the Holy Trinity Church. There's a couple of benches with fantastic views right down over the valley down to Bakewell, and I think you can see over Haddon, and the pub we've just passed. I think there's only one pub in the village called the Flying Childers Inn. It said it won the prize for the most unspoilt pub of the year recently, so but we didn't go in and spoil it too early on in our walk for beer, I think. I'm just climbing up out of Stanton and Peak village now. Absolutely lovely little village, wasn't it? And we just climb up, and then there should be a path to the right to take us on to Stanton Moor. On the path across into Stanton Moor now. I think the whole place is a scheduled ancient monument, not just the actual stones themselves, but there's all sorts of little stone structures and piles of stones and all sorts. I think some of them are probably not so ancient. We're just coming up to the stones now, and there's loads of people around because it's a busy bank holiday weekend. I've just seen a guy pass with a guitar and a cajon, so whether we're going to get some sort of musical rendition, I don't know.
How can you do both at once though?
That's a good question, Maria. How can you do both at once? But, anyway, I think the next section it might be a quick look at the stones because it's full of people.
Babe, you are all jumping around.
Right, so that was the Nine Ladies, scheduled ancient monument built 4,000 years ago. I'm all for people enjoying the countryside, but would you really sort of like set up your sort of picnic pitch right inside an ancient monument? I don't know, maybe it's just me.
Yeah, just you.
Well, no, it's no wonder things get fenced off eventually. Hey ho, miserable old man rant over. So, if you fancy a moment's peaceful contemplation at the Nine Ladies Stone Circle, here's a free suggestion. Don't come on Easter Sunday. There is another stone called the King's Stone just up behind, and it was just too crowded. We've not searched for that, so we're just carrying on with our walk and going across the moor, and then picking up a path down towards Birchover, I think. Got a little bit more peaceful over here now because you're more than about 100 foot from a car park, but yeah, it's a lot more tranquil. Oh, my cup of tea, definitely. Just coming up to another ancient stone now. This one's like a sort of a standing stone. I think it's called Corkstone, if the map's to be believed. Have a look. Just coming down off Stanton Moor now, and we've dropped down a little section along the road for a few hundred yards, and then picked up a path down to the right which takes us down to Birchover, another little village. So have a little nosy around that one. As you come down this path, there is an active quarry at the just at the top, and then you come down past some ruins which I think might be, it's marked on the map as Barton Hill Quarries, and then there's all sorts of heaps of offcuts of stone and everything, and some of them are quite interesting. I think what you're looking at here is you see the curve there, and that's probably you know, obviously it started out as a larger slab, and they've cut a huge millstone out of the centre of that, and then these are just the offcuts at the edges, and there's there's quite a few of them dotted around up the slope and along the slope here. Yeah, interesting, if you like that sort of thing. We've just made a convenient little rest stop at the Druid Inn, so cheers. Farmer's Blonde, Bradfield Brewery, beautiful, always is, very nice pint. Right, just heading down away from the village of Birchover now, after having a nice refreshing mid-walk pint. Not something we normally do, but it's just where the villagers fell on this walk. I think we've probably got about only about 3 miles or so to go yet, and the path takes us over. I think we go past Robin Hood Stride. There is another stone circle over there. We probably won't go up to them because we've done that on a different walk, but that's the way the path heads, and worth mentioning just in case you've not seen them and you want to, if you're following this route and you want to take those in, we'll show you where they are. Nearly missed that just as we come down out of Birchover. It's called Router Rocks, just up to your right as you come down. Just keep an eye out back out to the right. Quite an impressive sandstone outcrop. Yeah, nice. The old vicar didn't do too badly for himself, did he? Mind you, if you look in these old villages, they never seem to. There's always a beautiful vicarage around. What a lovely house. Just see, probably not very well on the GoPro, up to Robin Hood Stride, just on the skyline there. See the rocks, but we're kind of skirting round behind it, I think, on our walk today. So if you do want to see it, probably the best way to access it is as you go around the other side. There's a clearly visible path back up to it, but I'll point that out. So after you drop down from Birchover, there's a tiny little stretch along a road, but it does need you to be careful because there are some idiot drivers about, and then you just immediately find a path back up to the right, and it's not the path I thought it was actually. This one seems to take us right between you've got the rocks that have got Hermit's cave in up to the right, and then just to the left you can see Robin Hood's Stride, so you can go and explore them at your heart's content if you've not seen them. Yeah, so that path took us right between Hermit's Cave and Robin Hood's Stride, and then down to your right you can see that ancient stone circle, 4 stones, but we have visited it on another video, so we'll be turning right and going past that, but I've just pointed it out so you know where it is. Path takes us back just across farmland before we start dropping down into Youlgreave, and it's marked on the map as an ancient hill settlement. It's actually marked as Castle Ring. There's nothing really to see of it. There's a couple of bits of earthworks, but whether they're more modern or not, but you can see why it would make a fantastic place for a hill settlement. Raised up and easy to see anybody coming up to you or whatever. Right, just coming up to the village of Youlgreave now. That's where we take a left back to the campsite, and that will bring us up to about 9.5 miles, I think. So we'll say ta-ra here. Thanks very much for watching, very much appreciated, and if you wouldn't mind doing the honours and giving it a thumbs up if you've watched this far, and if you're new here, maybe you'd consider subscribing. I'd really appreciate that, it does help the channel. But for now, goodbye, and we'll see you on another video very soon. Thanks very much for watching. Bye.